Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome back for another week of learning. We're going to get started with our essential question. So our essential question, which it's going to take us several weeks to answer, our essential question says, what makes the world fascinating? So remember, if something is fascinating, it's really interesting and we want to learn more about it. So what makes the world fascinating? Last week, we looked at two continents. We looked at Europe and we looked at Asia. And more specifically, we looked at some different interesting things that people could do in those two continents. Today and this week, we're going to look at two additional continents and we're going to focus on some of the natural features that these two continents have. So our focusing question says, what interesting natural features can people see in Africa and Antarctica? So natural features are things like waterfalls or mountains, something that is in the earth. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to find these two new continents on the map. Remember, there are 7 continents all together. We live in North America right here. Yep. There is South America, North America, Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, and Antarctica. So if we take a look at, we looked at Europe and Asia last week, and this week we're going to look at Africa and Antarctica. So we're going to get started by looking at Antarctica, and our very first thing when we read a book is to go through it, just read it and think of things that we notice and things that we wonder. So that is our job today, is to look through. We're going to start with the Antarctica for today and to just be thinking of some questions. What do we wonder about Antarctica and what do we notice about this book? I've also made, if you go on Epic, I've made a collection of additional books that will teach us more things about Antarctica. So you can also go on there to learn. So I'll move over here so that we can see our wonder wheel and more specifically our wonder question words: where, when, what, why, how, and who. So you guys thought of some really amazing, terrific wonder questions for Europe and Asia, and we're going to go back and revisit those in a few days. But today I want you to listen and see if you can think of some additional wonder questions for Antarctica. All right, front cover, back cover, spine holds the book together. This, you'll notice, it's very similar to the text that we read last week. They're actually all by the same author, Rebecca Hirsch. She wrote the words, and we will get started. Here's our table of contents that tells us what we're going to learn about. Welcome to Antarctica. Antarctica is an icy continent. It has no countries. That is very interesting. If you remember, the name of our country is the United States of America. So here is a picture of an emperor penguin in Antarctica. So you probably already have some questions. The largest pieces of land on Earth are called continents. There are 7. Antarctica is the yellow continent on this map. So it is very long, and it's right here on the bottom of that map. People of Antarctica. Remember last week we talked about headings? So the headings tell us kind of what the section is going to be about, and the author might make a decision to put them in a different color or to have them in bold, something that is going to help tell us what this section is about. So this is going to be about the people. Few people live in Antarctica. That means a very small number. Most are scientists who come to study the continent. Planes bring food and supplies to Antarctica. Remember, if I'm ever reading too fast, you can always pause to look at the pictures and to try to read the words on your own, or you can go back. Visitors also come to watch seals and other amazing animals. Crab-eater seals rest on the ice. Look at those seals resting. That's about how I felt after I ate Easter lunch yesterday. Adventurers ski in Antarctica. Some ski to the South Pole. It is one of the coldest places on Earth. Wow. Felicity Aston skied across Antarctica in 59 days. So I wonder what that woman has in her supply kits. I wonder why people ski across Antarctica. Oh, amazing animals. Look at that guy. Antarctica is famous for its penguins. Rockhoppers live by the rocky shore. Rockhopper penguins can hop from rock to rock. Well, that makes sense why their name is Rockhopper, because they hop from rock to rock. What do you wonder about those penguins? Killer whales swim in the icy water. They hunt for fish to eat. And it tells us that a killer whale can swim very fast. Ice, wind, and snow. Antarctica has fierce winds that blow the snow. People must wear bright coats to see each other. 2 scientists work in the Transantarctic Mountains. So I wonder what the scientists do there. What do they study in Antarctica? Antarctica has tall mountains. Most are covered by ice and snow. So some really beautiful natural features here, like the tall mountains. Antarctica has thick sheets of ice. Giant ice chunks can break off into the ocean. These chunks are called icebergs. So here's a picture of a big iceberg. What do you wonder about icebergs? Learning from Antarctica. Scientists come to Antarctica from many countries. They study the ice to learn about climate changes. So scientists measure floating sea ice. What do you wonder about that? Scientists study the animals and weather too. There is so much to learn from Antarctica. Countries will always work together to protect this icy continent. So there are no countries in Antarctica, but scientists from all the other continents come together and work as a team to figure out different things. So scientists study a group of emperor penguins. Wow, what a cool job. I wonder if anyone in our class will grow up to be a scientist like that. So modern marvels, remember that last week we had that as well in our book, and modern means recent, and a marvel is something really awesome and amazing. So scientists in Antarctica work at Princess Elizabeth Station. The stainless steel walls have many layers to keep heat in and to keep cold winds out. Windmills on tall poles catch the wind to make electricity for the station. That is awesome. So they have windmills that make the electricity to power things inside there. How neat is that? Meet a wandering albatross. Wandering albatrosses lay their eggs on islands around Antarctica. The male and female work together to raise their young. They have the longest wingspan of any bird. So a wingspan is how long, like your wingspan is how long your arms are from point to point, from fingertip to fingertip. Now we don't have wings, so a bird, their wingspan is from up here all the way out here. Look at how long that wingspan is, way longer than its body. They fly far looking for squid and fish to eat. And then we have words you know. We have iceberg, killer whale, penguin, and plane. And then we have our index in the back. So your job, think about what did you notice and what did you wonder about this continent. All right, I'll see everybody tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.